No worries.
Oh,
I wanted to give it a minute first to make sure before I just interrupted you. But yeah, it seems
okay.
as if it's still waiting on you.
I think I hit the hotkey. Should be starting now. Yes. Okay.
Usually a delay, so I'll give it just a minute.
All right. Hello, everyone. Fangs of Fire here. Welcome to another match from the Duos and Dark Halls tournament. Today, this is only the third match, so our contestants today are Snuffaluffagus of the team Cagliari Communari Special, and Spencer playing as the Hunters, and Spencer Wolfhart playing as Dracula as the representative for Noose Ferret 2. Oh, okay. Just checked Ireland real quick. Not, but okay.
Good old standby.
All right. And with me today, as you have likely deduced by his voice, is Captain Gyro, star comedian of our community.
Hi everybody. Good to be here. Hope we have good games, good banners, good times.
Yep. It's hard to have a dual stream with Gyro around. Even if he's in the chat.
Well, thanks, I appreciate it. So he's checked Ireland. We've got Sister Agatha in play. Let's see what happens. Give everything a minute to start ramping up. In the meantime, we've got Rickmania here watching. Welcome aboard.
Hello, Rook. Look, this time you're on the other side of the stream, aren't you? I'm referring to the fact that the second game of the tournament was earlier today. He was the co-com for Scott's Sword while I watched. But
he's a great lover of the game.
Yeah, I won't spoil anything for others who watch this, but Dark Halls and Duos. What is so special about this tournament? Well, once again we're playing in teams, as you likely guessed on the intro. We have 10 different teams. Each team will play it will play the other 9 teams once in a round robin style league. And then at the end of that, the top 2 teams will compete, even if it means like a 2-3 win difference. It won't matter. So long as you're in second place, you still have a chance to win the whole thing, because then the top 2 teams will compete, and
winner take all at that point
in a best of 3.
I see.
Spencer is doing here's a classic Spencer Wolfhart move. Do not misdirect the first spot.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
Spencer Wolfhart, as you may already know, is well known for being one who for orchestrating lair strategies. But to continue, there is one you might recognize this tournament format from the Immortal Invitational last year, except this time we have a good number more participants, which is why we're only going through it one time instead of 2. Punished Florence.
Interesting.
Okay, so now we know. But
he's almost certainly
to continue what I was saying.
Naples, right?
Normally I would say that's the case, but I would argue that since we're talking about Spencer, he would want to go to Genoa and Marseille and such to start circling around, start creating to get the lair.
That's a good point. Well, lair in 36 is a really good spot for a lair.
Yeah, but in any event, to finish the explanation of how the tournament works, there is one slight quirk to it. In addition to it being teams, we are playing with the house rule with the enhanced Dark Hall house rule, which, long and short of it, is when a Dark Hall happens, not only does it do the usual effects, but you draw the top event off of the event deck. If it is a hunter event, it just gets thrown away. So if you get lucky, you might be able to snipe an RV or a CG with it. Highly unlikely, of course, but possibly. And but if it's a Drac event, Dracula gets to take it into his hand. So...
That would be pretty bold of Dracula to Dark Call to simply burn the top Hunter event card in hopes that it was a good one. Exceptionally bold, but heck, some people want a Dark Call anyway.
Yeah.
But you would think you'd wait until it was a better opportunity to get that Dracula event.
Hey Rook, do tell me if volume levels are good, as Snuff and Spencer ended up accelerating the start time, so I wasn't quite ready on the moment.
And I'm going to take an opportunity now to come to defense of Dark Call a little bit. I mean, don't get me wrong. If I'm being perfectly honest, I don't really Dark Call hardly ever. I could probably count on one hand the number of times I've Dark Called as Dracula. But if I were to play the devil's advocate just a little bit, having a hand of encounter cards with so many more options if you're really good at using the encounter cards, you can dictate the rest of the game with that to a certain extent. How many times have you been playing as Dracula and you look at your hand of encounters and you go, well, I guess I'm just gonna have to work with what I got, and you have to put down the ones that you don't really want to.
Yeah,
it's such a luxury instead to have such a huge hand of cards and say, I'm gonna put this, I'm gonna put that.
Yeah, that's actually kind of the logic behind the trash trail method these days. But okay, well then.
There he is.
I actually could see I actually think that Spencer is one of the players that might be more likely to take advantage of this, because it might help a little bit with the timing of layers. From time to time, forgive the pun. But
what do you do now, though? I think you wolf form.
I think that they are hardly going to engage you this turn. I would wait. I would actually move casually to do normal move to Munich. Do normal move to Munich. And if they want to do one to give you a chance to escape attack from units, okay, take it, and then wolf form. If they don't, then wolf form from Munich.
Perhaps there are lots of options. You could go to Munich and try to bait them into a bad fight.
Venice,
but you could end up actually getting walloped for that. You might pay the price.
Yes.
Or you could wolf form from Venice, and now all of a sudden you could be in Zagreb, you could be in Nuremberg, you could be in Zurich, ready to slink over to Strasbourg. You might even go down to Rome to spend the next few days in the southern part of Italy before you go to the Adriatic.
Possibly.
You could wolf form to Marseille and try to bait Mina into a bad fight. He actually has a lot of options here with the wolf form.
Yeah, I suppose it is better than it looks. Your initial instinct is just say Zurich, that it only opens up the new options of Nuremberg, Zurich, Marseille, and Zagreb, but since he's already in northern Italy, but you just don't think about going down south sometimes.
This is where if you wolf form now, I think you could potentially bait the Hunter player into making some bad decisions. Like, you want them to waste their actions checking, right? You want Godalming to go and check 59 and you're not there. You want Mina to go and check 36 and you're not there. You see what I mean? You get them to manually check the locations, and thus bait him a little bit into burning some day actions and not supplying as much as he should.
Yes, but what concerns me, but the logic behind my reasoning is that they haven't had much time to supply. And look, there's only 6 things discarded. That's how. Okay, so he is going with the wolf form. I can see reasons to wolf form and to wait 1 turn. It depends on where exactly we want to go. In my mind, but.
And Snuff here not being baited into making those checks. He's gonna supply. It looks like figure out where Dracula is later. I like that idea. Just stay calm. There's no reason to worry about where Dracula is right now because you'll figure that out soon enough. All you got to do right now, you got to worry about Venice and Genoa. Is really what you got to worry about.
Yeah, that was part of my reasoning for waiting a turn, because if you, are they going to bother engaging you when there's a rumored vamp? Oh.
Hey, cut the guy a break.
Yeah, I suppose there's less merit to the idea of waiting a day with Aggie in play. So
now Dracula's gonna be wishing that he had moved to Milan instead, and then moved to Marseille after that, and then Wolfform from Marseille.
Yes.
But that's the way it goes. I think Wolfform from 36 is a really strong Wolfform.
My personal favorite for a Wolfform is Zurich.
Yeah, that's also a good spot.
Yeah, when it comes to Wolfform, I like places where Psychic Scan will be able to narrow it down least. And basically, Zurich, Nuremberg, Geneva, like places that are like on the borders of various spots. That's like basically that little center of the board that at the very center of that batch is being Zurich. That's my favorite bat stuff, because Psychic Scan doesn't tell you too much, because there's so many different regions I could be in.
What's he gonna do now?
It helps narrow it down, to be sure, but
start moving into if I was Dracula, I'd go to 24, and then on the next turn you can go to Strasbourg, or if Mina moves, you can go to Paris instead.
I might go to Zurich from here.
That wouldn't be bad either. I like Geneva because of its connection to Paris, and from there you can get to Nantes, which has a good escape route by sea. Maybe he'll head for Spain. Go 54, 48.
Yeah. I think it would be unwise to go directly for Spain, because there's so little trail, and it's just leading straight into Spain, so they would just be clearing 2, maybe 3, maybe in some cases 3 at a time, and then you're already bottled up in Spain. That's typically something that, and that's a problem that Dracula typically had in the late game, so I think Spain is not the best idea.
It's a good point. You want the hunters to have to decide, do we chase after Dracula or do we go and take down the trail?
And that's the merit of Zurich. And that's the merit of Zurich. If you go Zurich, you have far more options as to where to go next. You have and Geneva does similar, but if you're gonna go east, you're gonna go to Zurich anyway. Plus, this is helping him circle back to Genoa and Venice if he wants to do that. How did...
Here's Genoa. You gonna ambush him? No ambush.
Okay, I bring this up.
Interesting.
Seems to say an aristocratic.
Yeah, one might assume.
Yeah.
So do you use your stake anyway? I would. I don't think it's worth getting into a fight where the vampire ends up clawing you. I mean, then again, it is Dr. Seward.
Yeah.
But even he can be messed up. Like, you don't. Yeah. You use the stake. You protect yourself.
Oh.
Okay. It's the soil. It's a bit of a ruse.
Yeah.
I mean, that makes sense that he would put soil down early because.
Yeah, because it's a dark call like effect.
It's the dark call rules too. If he ends up dark calling for the Dracula event card, he'll be glad that the soil matured to heal that 2 damage. It makes sense putting that down early. But it's not going to mature this time.
Yeah, it's possible that was his original intention when he did that.
I'm a big fan of an early soil like that because hunters are typically not prepared to deal with it. Like, yeah, they might have the heavenly host anyway, just because. Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you keep heavenly
just due to how just due to how the deck wins.
Exactly. But you've at least got an opportunity of them potentially not being prepared for it.
Any if they are, well, I mean, in my case, I don't care. I care more about the card cycling than the healing.
That's true. But getting that 1 hit point back after a wolf form is still nice.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's not, by any means.
Heck, you might even do an early C move. I mean, a lot of people really don't like early C moves, and I understand. You want to keep Dracula on dry land as much as possible, but every now and again you might do something like leave Bari and then wolf form into Baltica, right, through the Adriatic, something like that.
Yeah, I have actually. I once played a game with someone. They did something. They did something where they stayed on land precisely 3 for precisely 3 moves, and then went to sea, like faking an island move.
Right. And then when you do something like that, the soil matures and gives you your health back. That can be really nice, and also it gives you it lets Dracula move really far, right? Because like if Dracula's all the way in Bari, and then he goes to the sea, and then he wolf forms, and now he's in Sofia. I mean, he's actually making pretty good distance, if that makes any sense. He's putting his trail far behind him.
Yeah, Adriatic Sea is definitely nice for those purposes. Yeah.
You can do a similar thing with the English Channel, but yeah, no. In this case, it seems like Dracula is just staying on land. Okay, no ambush in Venice. That's interesting.
Yeah, not even the hide card. Yeah.
Right.
That is a bit odd, but.
And he didn't send Godalming to deal with it. He sent Seward to deal with it, which I think that's also interesting. You would think, if anything, Godalming would want to get moving, and then Seward could head to Marseille.
I think he's doing it as a precaution for if there's a bats, and therefore he needs both of them to clear it in time.
That's a good point.
And well, we're only just ending week 1 today, so they have plenty of time. We did have a stake discard a bit ago.
Even though Dracula was found in Marseille, and even though he didn't have wolf form available to him, it's still not a terrible result for him because, I mean, tonight he's going to put down a 3rd location card, right? And he's going to be 3 spaces from Marseille, which
can mean a lot of spots.
A lot of places. Yeah, there's so many connections to Marseille. So all in all, it didn't work out too badly for him because he was able to quickly re-obfuscate his whereabouts.
Rats. Okay.
Rats. And he does reveal the rifle.
Fog.
And a fog. Interesting.
Huh.
Wonder what that's about.
Well, I mean, you are right next to Godalming and Seward, and like in the event they hop on you, if they use a ticket or a horse to start heading towards Spain for a horse trade or something, that's not exactly the most pleasant thing, especially since they drew Aggie right away. So he did have knowledge of Aggie at the time. He did have knowledge of Aggie, as that was day one. But
maybe he was hoping the fog would mature? Or maybe he's thinking, behind the veil could come up and take the fog away anyway. It's better to just play it, and then the sooner it gets into the discard pile, the sooner you can get it back.
Okay, that cuts off a lot of stuff, of possibilities. I mean, there's still Milan, but also it occurs to me, keep in mind that this is Spencer we're talking about. He tends to do layers.
Right, he's maybe potentially going to go back there with the fog on it.
Have it as an emergency hideout for, if things were to get heated in the east, or for some reason southern Italy.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point. Yeah, if 57 were to make it off the trail while still face down, you can layer it, and now they don't know where it is. And then, it makes sense to have Hyde be rats in that case, because it's just a useless encounter at that point.
Yeah.
So that makes a lot of sense. And then ideally you return there at some point, and now you've got your fog in Venice. You're ready to leave.
Yeah. Yeah, most Draculas I would be surprised, but Spencer and Wakajic are definitely not your typical Dracula. I thought I'd mention Wakajic simply because he is also taking part in this tournament, so we may see more of this should I stream one of his games where he plays as Dracula.
What is the counterpart in Marseille? Comes the next question. If only a psychic bond could have been done a tiny bit sooner. I mean, I don't blame him for not being able to pull one off because it's so early. But if you could have managed one maybe yesterday or the day before, I don't see how that would have been possible anyway, but it would be really nice to know where he went after 36.
Yeah.
Have to do it the old-fashioned way, probably.
Yeah, I mean,
that's where you want to bats. Is Marseille.
That leaves only two possibilities as to where he is now.
Brussels or not. That is quite the interesting poll.
That is very nice. Because
Dr. Seward was trapped in fog.
And what's more, he's adjacent to the two people who still have moves, and therefore we could have a 2-on-1 now.
It's a 50-50 shot, whether he's in Brussels or not.
Yeah, if they had to...
Ooh, what do you think? I don't know. Not would be
There's no
trickier.
Hyde card. The fact that there's no Hyde card, and he wasn't in Zurich, I think it is slightly more likely to be Nantes, do Clermont-Ferrand. Yeah, because if there were...
And then he went to Bordeaux, and then...
Yeah. No, I think it's Clermont-Ferrand, Toulouse, Bordeaux, and then he just... to keep this possibility of doing Clermont-Ferrand first, to keep the possibility of going into Spain a thing.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Well, he just checked Brussels, and it's not Brussels, so...
Yeah,
confirmed.
so... Yeah.
I also like the idea of going to Nantes because you're expecting that Van Helsing is going to move off of Le Havre sooner or later, right? And when he does that, you can immediately move into Le Havre at that point and then go around them.
Yeah.
So that's sort of the trickier route. All right, can this low-res vampire be defeated?
Is he even going to try to do it this way, or is he going to just escape and stake? because there was only one stake discard. Seward still, or no, well apparently there was a second one that I missed.
Do you mesmerize here as the vampire if you have it?
But
I think so.
And then Seward is holding stake number 3.
Oh. Plotting. Yeah, I mean, it
must have a bad hand to start with plotting.
It's possible he just doesn't have the right cards, yeah, because as the vampire, I would be thinking to expect either punch or escape, and plotting loses both of those.
Yeah, so that
maybe
seems like
kind of forcing
that was either a
but he's getting another bite at the apple here.
Yeah, the first plotting seemed to be the result of a bad combat hand. Either that or a very daring move. I think.
Well, by the time we see the second plotting, though, I think that definitely implies a bad hand.
Yeah.
And here's Godalming dodging to try to avoid the fangs, probably. But I don't know about that, because it's not an ambush anyway.
It isn't. Here's the thing, though. What do you do as the vampire? What do you think?
Now? Your strength.
I might actually start with a mez.
No, I think you strengthen.
That is a mistake.
Well, he gets his health back.
Yes, but I was worried that Godalming might play a knife, and not being mesmerized, try to gamble.
Risky, though. I mean, because here I'm saying that strength would have been right, and if Snuff was thinking that, then knife would be really risky because you could lose your knife.
I mean, yes, and presumably Snuff was thinking along the same lines you were, but do you? And you're gonna take damage anyway, and this is Godalming, the tank, so.
Now you mesmerize or you claw.
Okay.
All right. This is quite the battle. I like it.
Yeah, pretty standard stuff. Barring. Yeah, this is. I mean, folks, this may seem dramatic, but when you've played the game as long as Gyro and I, this is just pretty standard for the only question for a vampire fight is, does the vampire land plotting or not most of the time.
He's used up his plotting. He's mesmerized him. Here's the fangs. He's gonna dodge. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's end of battle.
Could have tried to maybe mesmerize him a little earlier.
Yeah, that's why I said that I would have done mez after the fangs, after the plot.
Yeah, that was a good fight. Good fight. It also depends when he got the mesmerize. You know, sometimes you don't draw into it at the right time and all that. But yeah, sooner he's mesmerized, the more opportunities you have now for him to make a mistake. You gotta, the sooner he's mesmerized, the sooner you put the fear into him of the bite. Not that a bite is really that big a reward, but
I mean, it's still points.
Getting a bite token gets you a point. It puts a bite token onto Godalming, which is, if you're gonna have a bite token on somebody, Godalming's not a bad choice.
Yeah,
it makes that 11 health pool somewhat less relevant.
Yeah. Very true.
It gives him sort of an Achilles heel, considering he has the most health in the game. Next to Dracula, of course.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah, and now where is he? Where did he go next? I mean,
Questions.
Milan is ruled out due to the evil presence, revealing that, I mean, after the Brussels check, that it's Nantes that he was at.
Yeah, where's Dracula? Where did he go?
Yeah, so I think that the trail reads Clermont-Ferrand, Toulouse, Bordeaux, Nantes, and then
now he's in Lahar.
Either that or he hid.
Right. Yeah, the hide card came back. That's a good point. So now what? I mean, do you? I think if you have Speedy Telegraph,
this would be a good time for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because then Van Helsing can move back to Lahar first, and then Gul'dan can potentially rail up there, and you'd have a 3v1.
Mm-hmm. And if it turns out he's not there, well, depending on the horse situation, maybe Godalming and Mina could still get him in a 2v1. Right?
Yeah.
Maybe he's thinking about renewed vigor right now.
Yeah, and here's
all in and
here's the funny thing. It's possible if Seward has a think about the possibility of a charred carriage on Seward.
1, 2, 3. Oh. Well, if renewed vigor is live, then yeah. Here it is. Here it is.
If we have a speed telegraph too, then this could be a very, very swift game, which would be.
This could well be 4-on-1.
Oh, we've got the combo.
This could well be a 4-on-1.
However,
unless Dracula plays his other fog.
Yeah, first step 1, they have to guess correctly which one it is. Okay, that puts him in the sense of emergency range of Nantes. Can't do anything in terms of Le Havre, though.
Okay, it looks like Dr. Seward won't be showing up to the fight.
Alright.
That's good news for Dracula. There's no sense of emergency or chartered carriage long shot there.
Mind you, if he doesn't get the kill here, that vampire will mature.
True. Fortunately, it'll only be 4 points, and it won't be really.
Will it really? Yeah, would you possibly lair that?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, especially at Marseille, that is definitely an inconvenience. Every time you pass through, you get ambushed and possibly given more points. It would be
nice if maybe it was going to, how when the vampire matures, it clears the trail, and sometimes that can actually deprive the hunters of valuable information about Dracula's whereabouts. But in this case, they already know where he is, so I don't know about all that. Yeah, maybe layering it might actually be the right call.
Yeah, it's possible that he went to Geneva, so there's actually a slim No, the high card only came off the trail for this last move, so therefore.
It's still pretty early, though. Does he have his horses ready to go? Can Godalming actually horse somewhere or not?
Well,
remains to be seen.
Well, really, you just need to check which one it is with Mina and with Mina and Van Helsing. Once you know, Godalming can, at worst case scenario, just horse and move to get to Nantes, or just rail.
He's railing. He's checking 8. Why is he checking 8?
He apparently has not figured it out as well as we have. Whoa!
It's fog! Oh no!
However, that does mean that we have so long as they get the right location, they have a guaranteed 2v1. Since there's that's the second fog, and they do have Aggie to back them up.
It's not guaranteed because Van Helsing could move on to Le Havre here, and if Dracula isn't there, and Van Helsing doesn't have some kind of special movement action to move once more, he'll be stuck in Le Havre. If he doesn't have a horse, if he doesn't have a sense of emergency, he can't just move twice. He can move once, and he can do a special move, but that's it.
Presumably,
so if he goes there and Dracula's hiding and not...
Yes, but I would assume that he has something special to be doing a renewed vigor right now. I would assume that he has something.
I'm not so sure. All I know is Bordeaux was... I don't think Bordeaux was...
That was a bad call, yeah.
Easy to say, because we're just in the peanut gallery here, but... Yeah, you wanted to move him to Le Havre, and then if Dracula's not there, he has a horse available to him. If not, you can just You can just have Mina go there and maybe Van Helsing. Maybe the horses just aren't about. But there's only 4 item cards left. Somebody's got to be holding.
Okay.
Okay, here's Dracula and Lahar.
New vampire. All right.
With the new vamp. So we're going to have a fight. Mina's going to move. We'll have another fight. And then we're going to have a night fight with a 2-on-1.
Question for you, Gyro. What do you think about this? After you escape Van Helsing from this one, do you actually delay Van Helsing by a night to do a daytime 2v1 to deal with this one now?
It depends on your items, but I would mostly say no. If it was a reckless vampire, maybe. But new vampire is pretty beefy with that 6 health points. That is what stakes are for.
Yeah, but you can gang up, is what I'm getting at.
But all you're going to be revealing to Dracula all of your items at that point. Well, maybe not all of them, but if Mina and Van Helsing pull out knives, Dracula's going to know about the knives now.
Okay. So I would heal with second action as Van Helsing, as that gets you 1-2 damage tick more.
Yeah, but it's important now to be a 7 and not 6. I agree. And then you move Mina. She can escape. And then you fight Dracula.
Interesting.
And then you worry about the new vampire after that. You can have Godalming go there and kill it with a stake, maybe. If you can't do that, maybe Dr. Seward could get there in time. Because remember, Seward has a stake. We saw that. He tried to stake the desecrated soil, so he could get there in like 2 days and deal with this thing. And it's only 3 points anyway right now until he rumors it. So I don't know. I would actually maybe like kind of want to bait Dracula into rumoring this thing because he wants to apply pressure. And then as soon as he rumors it, then he send in Dr. Seward to kill it.
Okay. So now for the question that will tell us whether the new vampire will be dealing 2 or 4 damage. Did the plot happen did it
dodged?
Okay. Likely gonna be only 2 damage then. Because plotting round 4 really doesn't do you any good in terms of getting extra damage. Yeah, you have to land the plotting round 2 or 3, if for some reason it's round 3, for it to make any difference.
She's a spry one. She's dodging and weaving.
Yeah, so now the vampire will have to play Fangs to try to get in a hit.
True.
Because both claws are down. Okay, so they get the typical 2 damage, but that's nigh unavoidable. That's almost inevitable. I mean, honestly, I actually would have played as Mina. I would have played knife there because Mina's showing it. He knows that already. And
he knows about the knife.
And since claws were gone, the only thing it stands to reason that he'd play Fangs.
Mm-hmm.
So you might as well just do knife and then dodge a 3rd time.
True.
So I think that was slight missed opportunity. Okay, good. All right.
Heals.
This is
have us a little fight.
This is the time.
Surprising return. Oh no, Agatha's already in play.
Yeah. Aggie was allied when they first got her.
Okay,
so
here we go.
2 7-health hunters with the assistance of Aggie. Nope. A little bit disappointed with the lack of combat events. Possibly it's that Godalming has those.
Yeah, I mean, well, we saw the renewed vigor, we saw the speedy telegraph, so you can't have everything, right?
Yeah. So, one way or another, Dracula is going to take a good hunk of damage here.
Fortunately for him, he's fighting the two weakest hunters, but the power together, their strength combined, they're formidable.
Yeah.
Okay, he's gonna claw into the
knife. Okay. Yeah, going to try to get in a kill on Mina.
Bring her down to where you could maybe claw her a second time. Kill her, yeah.
Yeah, however,
this is gonna hurt.
It comes with a hefty price. Oh, is this a holy bullets?
Is it? Let's find out. Oh,
apparently
no!
So.
The sacred ammunition. Ow, that's gonna hurt. That's gonna leave a mark.
Yeah, in fact, even if he claws Mina again, what if Van Helsing just dumps the Heavenly Host on him?
What if they have great strength, too? Then that's just good.
Yeah.
This is quickly getting out of hand.
Yeah, this is quick. Mind you, I would probably, for my next move, I think I would Fang Van Helsing.
In hopes that he plays the Heavenly Host, yeah.
Yeah, if Van Helsing ends up...
Maybe Mina will dodge.
If Van Helsing ends up having a knife as his final item, then it's
pretty much good game anyway at that point.
Yeah, but you gotta try to... Yeah, I would do either Fangs or Strength, or possibly a Mez.
Yeah, here's the Fang on Van Helsing.
Okay.
That's not going to help too much, though.
It doesn't help at all, but at least it's minimal damage.
I wonder if his hand didn't have any strengths in it, because I'm sitting here thinking you want to throw a strength, if not in the first round, then in the second round. I mean, it's
okay.
Worrying about the Heavenly Host and everything, but
this is when you
could have stolen Van Helsing's gun, you could have stolen Mina's knife. It's possible you just didn't have any strengths.
Yeah, I think this is where you claw Mina again, because at this point, you know that they have knife and rifle to block, but they both have an anti-bat weapon, so I would try to... sometimes you just gotta roll the dice. Do they have great strength on top of all of this other stuff? Chances are minimal.
Or do you escape as a miss, go to C, wolf form?
Well, you can't escape as miss and go to C due to Aggie.
Oh, Aggie will damage him just for escaping. Oh,
however,
right.
wolf form will come off the trail, so he will have that. So he can escape as miss, then wolf form. It'll hurt, and he'll be down to 1 HP. But okay, so he's
going for it. He's going for the claw.
Yeah, he's going for
kill her off.
Okay, is there great strength? Answer.
Is there the S tier?
Yes.
It's the S tier card. Oh, it's so
GG.
overpowered.
That is a full 15 IDS win for Snuffaluffagus. Congratulations.
Insane. What a game. Just caught him out with
that evil presence.
A really stacked hand. And that evil presence was insane. Yeah.
Yeah, that was
determined everything.
Yeah, that was well done. That did not, and that was must have been a very torturous game for Spencer. Newspaper punished him for trying later strategy by not misdirecting the first thing. Then scouts revealed everything else, like every step of the way up, and then evil presence, bop.
Extremely uphill battle.
Yeah. That was rough.
He tried everything too. He tried fogging. He tried clawing people to death in the combat. I mean, he's pulling out.
Let's see if we can get our contestants. Let's see if we can get our contestants into in here for a post game chat, post game interview. So it's a thing I like to do that other streamers typically don't. But Okay, Snuff has agreed to come.
What an effort.
Snuff has agreed to come. Hello?
Hey, Fangsy.
Hey.
Well done, Snuffy. Well done.
One big winner.
A full-on 15. Well done.
Good start, yeah.
Yeah.
It was, I spent a lot of time trying to figure out if there's a way to make sure I could guarantee to get the 200s on him at the end, and I couldn't, but Le Havre just made way more sense, so...
Yeah, there was the possibility for the hide as that had just come off, but yeah, that was... Okay, Spencer understandably says no thanks after... Jaro and I were just discussing how first there was... I understand. after his Spencer's signature misdirect on this first lodge, you draw a newspaper, punish him for that, get scouts, everything, basically reveal his trail all the way up to Marseille, and then get evil presence to reveal him at Nantes. That was definitely a brutal one for him.
I did really well keeping tabs on the trail. Everything kind of went
You did?
my way.
The events did.
Yeah. And so I really had a lot going for me. I had CG, I had RV. The only thing I didn't have was horses. I drew one horse on Godalming, but the other two horses were still in the deck.
Wow.
So if he had, if he had gone to Iberia or into Germania, it would have taken me a while to draw. I was trying to, at the end, try to time the way I moved my hunters so that I could have the horses drawn by the people I wanted. I was really trying to kind of arrange how I moved them. But yeah, I thought that just because of that early reveal of the trail, that fog was really not all that effective. And I lucked out with the combat with Godalming not taking too much damage, although I guess that didn't matter in the end. If Godalming could get it, if Spencer didn't do the fog, I would have had a decent shot of horse. I didn't have perfect horse economy, but I could have horsed in Godalming.
Yeah.
Godalming had Lucy. So
yeah, which by the way, why did you go to Bordeaux? Because if you had taken a little more time to think on the trail, he was guaranteed to be there already in order to have been in Nantes at the time due to the timing.
No, he could have done. Couldn't he have done like Toulouse? What's it called? He could have stayed around Marseille. He could have done Geneva, Clermont-Ferrand, like Hyde, then
Hyde until the move to Le Havre. Hyde was still on the trail from Venice, so Hyde was out of the question.
Good point.
So
that would have narrowed down the situation to really just either a Hyde or in Clermont-Ferrand.
He had to be in Le Havre, or he was hiding in Nantes.
So I could have made that really easy.
He could have potentially got the 3-on-1.
Yeah.
I had 2 forewarns, both drawn by Mina.
Oh.
I took one of them off of her. I took both of them off her so that Helsing had 2. I hadn't gotten around to trading them off of Helsing yet.
With the Speedy Telegraph, that's what you should have done first. You should have given one to Godalming.
Wow, 2 forewarns, renewed vigor, CG. Wow, Sister Agatha.
Everything but horses, but the horses didn't matter. I had a surprising return, so I could bring Rufus back. It was really helpful. Other than the lack of horses, which I would have gotten soon, I had pretty much what I needed.
Well, definitely a very lucky game for a lucky game to start off the Cagliari. What's it called?
Cagliari Carbon Arbor Special.
Yeah.
Me and Andres thought.
Yep.
Put some respect on that name.
Yeah. Yep. That's a very high note to start art on. We'll see whether Andrzej does as similarly well. He represents Dracula for you.
There might have been some luck involved in getting those opportunities, but those who succeed are prepared to take advantage of those lucky opportunities.
Yeah.
Luck is a combination of preparation and good fortune.
Luck's where preparation meets opportunity.
And well put, exactly. You got to be in the right place at the right time and ready to pounce on it.
Yeah, so I'm happy that kind of went the way it did. I'm glad the whole use of Renew Vigor wasn't totally awful. If he had gone to Clermont-Ferrand, I wouldn't have been able to get 200s on him, so I would have let him go and wasted the RV in that circumstance.
Fortunately, Clown Friend had to be on the trail for him to be at Notch when he was.
So is Evil Presence an S tier card? It's not. That's what we need to know now.
It's not S tier, but it's good. It's underrated. It's much better than Local Rumors. You know, it's better. It's better than newspapers after week 1. You know, better than Hired Scouts. Yeah. Maybe sometimes. In this situation, it was better than Hired Scouts.
Yeah, that was a Yeah, this is definitely a game to show that this is definitely one of Aggie's moments of glory, as he couldn't escape his bat or escape his miss and go to sea.
I had it didn't end up mattering, but I had a crucifix on Helsing, and I was thinking about using it at the end. Like maybe he might try to escape his mist, kind of realizing the situation, and he might just randomly pick Helsing over Mina for that. But it didn't end up mattering.
I doubt it. He almost certainly would have done Mina for purposes of that to avoid that sort of risk.
Badass if you did that.
Yeah, that
would be. But I figured just go with the weapons, do the damage I can, keep him from escaping his bat, and if he escapes as missed against, Helsing, and I missed the opportunity, that's fine. He'll have to wolf and be at, low health, or go to sea and be at lower health, so... Actually, no, he would have been at 4. Yeah. I don't know. It'd be tough.
Well played to you. Well played.
Yeah, well played. You saw the advantage and you took it. You saw the opportunity and you took it. What else is there to be said?
That's dead Dracula.
Can't beat it.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us for our post-game interview, Snuff. I hope I hope everyone has enjoyed the stream. Thanks for watching, everyone.